Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A few videos back, I introduced you guys to this Mossy oak multi-tool knife, and overall I actually really liked it. Well, they have sent me another multi-tool, and this one is significantly smaller than the first one I had. In fact, it's kind of designed to be worn on a keychain. So this is going to have most of your normal tools that multi-tools have. But this is going to have some unique tools that I have never seen before on a multi-tool. It's going to have a whistle, it's going to have a cell phone holder, and even a SIM card removal tool. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing. We'll go over all the details and specifications of this multi-tool. I'll go through and show you the tools that are on the multi-tool. We'll put most of them to test, see how they perform, and then just give some overall thoughts on the tool. So up on top we got Mossy Oak 12-in-1 multi-tool pocket knife. Looks like our model number is the MO24014A. Not a whole lot else really around the box. The bottom does have a QR code that you can scan. But let's get this box opened up and we will see what this one comes with and what it's all about. So it looks like we're going to have some type of manual here. And then the multi-tool, and I think that's it. I'll show you guys this in detail here in just a second. So here is the manual showing all the tools that are on it. And then the back side basically shows you how to close the tools that you're using. I do not see any type of warranty information on this, and I could not find anything on the Amazon listing. Give you guys a quick close-up before we start going over all the details of it. Let me quickly grab you some dimensions and a weight before we start going over the tools. We are at 3.2 inches in total length. Our width, I'm going to go up from where like these little wings are back here. It's the widest spot on it. We're at 0.85. The actual body of it is 0.7. And then the thickness is 0.75. Weight on this guy, we are at 2.4 ounces. So as far as the materials that this multi-tool is made out of, I'm not really sure. The Amazon listing just says metal. I believe that this is some type of plastic for the whistle, but let's check to see. Yeah, we definitely do stick there. Let's check this side. Definitely stick. Well, it's not aluminum at least. Let's check out this little thing here. Yep, stick to that. All the tools here. So yeah, they are some type of metal. I just can't tell you what they're made out of. Alright, let's start looking at the individual tools. I'm going to start with this whistle first. I'm going to use it here off camera. Works well. Very, very, very loud. You know, I've never had a whistle on a multi-tool, but I can see purpose of it. One, for self-defense if it's hanging from your keys, but also maybe you coach or something like that and you always would have a whistle with you. I think it's actually a clever idea. I think what they should have done is put a measuring tape on this. If this is 3+ inches long, then give 3 inches, and then you would always know, 3 inches, 6 inches, 9 inches, whatever it is. I think that's something they could do in a future model. Up next, we have this little keyhole. It does pivot about 90 degrees. And there it is on my key ring. It's not much bigger than what my key fob is as far as the length here. And again, it doesn't weigh a whole lot. So yeah, I could definitely carry that like that. The other thing you can do with this, if you don't want to put it on a keychain, is make yourself a paracord lanyard and put it on here, and then you can just drop this down in your pocket, and then you'll have the lanyard to pull it out each time. Alright, up next, let's do this little SIM card holder. You see that little piece sticking up right there? That's what you need to put your nail on, and you push down. I'll be honest, it is a little bit stiff right now, but then that pops that up. See that there? Again, this is something that I personally have never needed, but I guarantee there are people who work in a field where needing SIM card tools is a must. And I'm also sure that you can use this for other tasks as well. It's fairly sharp, and it feels really solid. Like, I don't think that's going to break. I wouldn't use it as a pry tool, but you could definitely figure out some things to use that for. I may have to oil that or check the tightness of that screw, or maybe just use it a bunch here because it is really, really stiff right now. Up next, I'll show you guys the knife here. So it kind of has like a thumbnail hole right there to pull that out. Kind of like a reverse Tonto style blade. Let's try to look at the cutting edge here. Zoom in and get you guys a better view. There's your close-up of the cutting edge. Alright, let's check the sharpness of this knife right out of the box. I'm honestly not expecting great things with it, but we'll see. Maybe it'll surprise me. Try it again. It could have been my angle. It's not horrible. Let's try. Yeah. Seems like I get so far and then it stops each time. Hold both sides here and see what we can do. It's actually a really clean cut. That does actually surprise me. Let's try an index card here next. This will really show you how jagged or clean a cut is. Again, that's actually very, very good. There's only two small spots up here. Most of that's really clean. That could have been my angle, but now you can see how there's a whole bunch of stuff. And that'll usually tell you how sharp a knife is when it doesn't come out real clean. But again, that's not bad. I think a lot of it's just the angle that you go with on this knife. It's actually cutting through that pretty well. Let's try some cardboard. I have some corrugated cardboard here. See what this little knife will do with it. That was me just not pushing it all the way through, but a clean cut. Let's try it again. Yeah, that sliced right through it. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with this. It's doing pretty well so far. I showed the same type of rope here on every video. It's kind of like plasticky rope that's really like hard to like tie in knots. It won't stay into a knot. Most of my knives take 2 or 3 pulls to get through this. So we'll see if this can even make it through and how hard I have to pull. There's 1 pull. 2 pulls. So not bad actually. I will say when I was just doing that, that whistle was really like digging into my hand because I was having to squeeze really hard, and I could definitely feel that digging in there. Got a plastic zip tie up here next. We'll see if the knife can make it through it, how hard I have to pull, and how many times it takes to pull through. There's one. Yeah, this, oh, there we go. It took 3 times and I was pulling pretty hard on it. Made it through though. I'll come back to the knife for one more thing later, but let's put it away. And the way you do that is you grab these little wings here, you pull back, and then this will fold back in. And let's real quickly check the lockup on that. See if there's any play. There's a little bit of up and down, but it doesn't actually like move. It's more just sounds. But it's pretty solid on there. So the knife had that little like hole right there that you get your thumbnail in, and whatever tools on this side also has that. but all of the ones in the middle have like these little hook type things. So next up is the scissors. So right there, you see I just grabbed that with my nail. You just grab that and then pull these out. There we go. So these scissors are not the biggest blades in the world. I mean, if you look at it, it's maybe a fingertip length. I can see that they're sharpened right there and on that side as well. They are spring loaded. It is kind of just like a straight kind of bar right here. I know some of them are a little bit wider where you put your thumb so it doesn't like start hurting after a while, but we'll try to do some of the same cutting here with this as what we did with the knife, just to kind of see what it's like. I'm going to cut through that, no trouble at all. I'm not sure if the camera was even on that. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously just copy paper. Let's find that index card. Go through it. I will say that if you're doing a really short cut, it's very, very clean. Like if I take off this corner right here, it's going to be very clean. Something that it doesn't have to travel very far. You can see that's pretty clean. But if I have to try to go across this entire thing, it kind of starts hitting the other stuff around here. So I'll go all the way across to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm hitting all of this other stuff around here. So it makes the long cut not the cleanest cut. It's still going to get through anything. Let's see how the scissors do with cardboard. Kind of same thing as that paper. It's cutting through it no problem. The scissors are sharp. It's just getting the rest of this stuff past the actual multi-tool. I mean, you can see like the first cuts are great on it. Like it gets right through, but the only issue is when you have to keep going, it just kind of starts hitting this stuff around. Let's do some of that rope. It made it through, but it made the thing like spring weird, and it actually didn't cut all the way through. Took a couple times there. Let's try that again. Let me pull a little bit tighter on the rope. There we go, that was better. And let's try this plasticky kind. If it gets through this, I actually will be impressed with this. Ooh, I'm pushing hard and I'm not getting through that. Yeah, I'm probably going to get stuck in it. We'll try it again though. I want to get through it. There we go. So it took about 4 times and I was really pushing hard. Plastic zip ties. No problem with that. So yeah, the scissors are really sharp. And hopefully this thing will focus to where you can see I have a big indent on my thumb now from trying to get through that yellow rope. So the next tool up is the nail file and the Phillips head screwdriver. There are actually 2 different files on here. You can see we got this one here that has kind of like the parallel lines. This one here, I assume one's probably like a rough course, one's more like a smooth. But you can definitely file a nail or whatever on here. And yeah, it does work. Let's also try the file here on a piece of wood. I'm just trying to put a little bit of a round on the bottom of this. And as you can see, yes, it's rounding that off. And let's check out this Phillips screwdriver and see how stable the thing feels. Kind of drive this screw down in here a little bit. That's fairly tight. Let's back it back out. Sorry for that noise. So the only thing I'll say right there is squeezing that to try to get that nail. These little wings right here, I was feeling that on my thumb and I think my middle finger. Wasn't horrible, but I mean definitely a little bit of a hot spot. And I could also feel that's not the SIM card tool, that's a little lever that pulls that card up, and I could feel that in the back of my hand on that particular task. I didn't notice any of that on any of the other things I've done so far. So the next tool up is going to give us our bottle opener, can opener, and then straight or slotted screwdriver. I'll just quickly use that same screw to make sure it'll turn a few times. It would work in a pinch. All right, let's try this can opener, see how it does. It's getting harder and harder to find cans that have like traditional tops on them. Everything has a pop top anymore. As you can see, that's cutting through that very easily. Probably takes somebody about a minute total to get through. I'm more than halfway through already. But yeah, as you can see, it's getting through that no trouble at all. So with the bottle opener, I'm not actually going to pop this cap off. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, but you just get the hook underneath there like that and here, and then just lift up. All right, I think we still have 2 more tools to check out. This here is the rope cutter, and then this is the phone holder. So I'm interested in seeing what that's like. I don't know if any of these pieces are long enough to even try with this rope cutter. But you kind of hook it here, and there's a little blade that's tucked down on this side. So let's see here. Sometimes you have to like pull it a couple times, like you kind of go back and forth with it. And it did go through it. It's making it through. And the final tool is a cell phone holder. I've been kind of messing with it for the last few seconds. This old phone here does not have any type of case or anything on it, and it does not want to stay standing in this really at all. If you can see, there's still a huge amount of space in between here, and I just can't get this one to hardly stand up. In their demonstration video, they showed like a larger phone, like a iPhone Max or whatever, with a big case on it, and it stood in there just fine. Something like this here will work. You can see how the case is on there, but it kind of holds that in place. Well, it didn't do it great there. Let me get it set there. There we go. So again, if you're at a picnic table or whatever it might be, you could set that up and then be able to hands-free watch your phone. So what do you guys think about this little Mossy Oak multi-tool? Is this something you would even consider carrying? I have never seen a multi-tool with a whistle, and I actually like it. I actually really like this little thing and can see me using this, even though I've already got probably 20 other multi-tools. I think for me, this is going to be going in my tackle box. I think, obviously being on the water or near the water, I think having a whistle is a good thing for that. I told you earlier, you can obviously put it on a keychain or put it in a pocket. If you do like an EDC bag, this would be a nice small little thing to fit down in that bag. Some people do like get home bags, great for that, or putting this in your vehicle, put it in a glove compartment or center console. just having something that's got a bunch of little tools on it, I think that's great. You know, I tested most of the tools that are on this, and like none of them sucked. They all worked decently well. In fact, I was really impressed with that little knife blade. Now, I personally don't really see myself using that cell phone holder or that SIM card tool, but they're on there in case you need them. In fact, I think I'm going to try pulling these screws here out and see if I can't remove that SIM card, because it does create a little bit of a hot spot when you're gripping back there. But I like how compact and how lightweight this thing is. I like how every tool locks in place back here. And then you have these things here to unlock it, bring it back down. If there were a couple things that I could change on this, both are very easy. Number one is it has this really nice finish on this side over here, and they chose to leave this side completely plain. And they're all this way, and I don't understand it, because this same material is actually right here as well. And then they just put like a decorative plate or whatever over top of this, and it just looks weird how that side doesn't have it and that side does. And then the second thing is these little things here to like undo the lock, so it's locked in place. These little wings, they flare out, so they get more pointy as it comes out. And again, when this is in your hand and you're squeezing tight to do something, you can feel those edges right there. And I think that they could have just kept this like straight instead of flaring it out. And I think it would disappear in your hand a little bit easier. And obviously the reason for that is because it makes it easier to grip this, to pull it back. But I don't think it's necessary. And that's obviously just my opinion. Maybe they are necessary. And I'm not an engineer or anything like that. And you may put this in your hand and you may not feel that at all. It may feel perfectly normal, but I could definitely feel that when I was squeezing. But overall, I really like this little thing and would definitely recommend it. So these are available on Amazon. And at the time of me making this video, these are coming in at $11. So a fantastic price on it. So definitely would recommend it. And at that $11 price, these would make great gifts for people, stocking stuffers, whatever. And I will leave that Amazon link down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on this multi-tool. Read some of the reviews. I think there's close to 80 reviews on there. Or if you want to pick one up. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.